The Pacific Northwest was hit in the Puget Sound, and it's pretty obvious that that's a dramatic increase in activity, going from zeros and ones to twos, then going to threes, and then going up to near 4.0. It's pretty obvious that that's a dramatic increase. That's a 1,000-fold increase to go from zeros to threes, 1,000-fold increase in power. But the earthquakes that were detected up in the Northwest yesterday wasn't just a 3. Look at all the 4s that are on the list here, guys. Going up to 4.2, even 5 detected on the list. But I'll be willing to throw out the 5 if we throw out the 3s. And if we throw out the 5 and throw out the 3s, where does that leave us? It leaves us with a 4.0 earthquake striking in the slow slip earthquake location in Washington State within a day of having that collapse happen. Okay, so we're going to go over to the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network at this point. We're going to check their real-time tremor map to see if the tremors are matching up with the earthquakes. Now, they say that there's a difference. The tremors, microquakes, associated with the slow slip event that's been happening in the Northwest were not earthquakes. Well, now, look at what we've got going on here. We have, inside of this same earthquake location that I just showed you, where the 4.0 earthquake happened, we have a slow slip of tremors occurring as well back in the Olympic Peninsula. Now, this is only about a dozen earthquakes or so, or a dozen tremors or so today. Let's go back a day. So we'll go back one day. And where do we have it? 0 earthquakes yesterday now? Serious? You guys saw the earthquakes we reported to you yesterday, right? I mean, we reported them to you yesterday. All right, let's go back a day before that. Oh, okay, well, now we got the earthquakes there. Well, yesterday, we were able to show you a cluster of earthquakes here around the Olympic Peninsula, Olympia, Washington, which is now not on the feed for today. So even though I showed it to you yesterday, and even though it should be there, it is now not there. Take a look at it. 0 epicenters. The earthquakes are gone. Well, that's very strange. That's very strange. Wouldn't you guys say that's strange? That's strange. Because we were able to look at this cluster of earthquakes last night and talk about it, how it was related to the Hanford facility issue. All right, well, I'm starting to get suspect here with the information. Again, I don't know what to say about that other than it seems that the information that I would be normally giving to you is now being manipulated or maybe possibly not being reported. So we're going to go back to the drawing board on this. We're only going to go with the earthquakes. We're going to stop consulting the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network tremor map as of tonight. I'm not going to be showing that map to you anymore. I feel it's not reliable. It's about as reliable as the FBI director. All right, so let's just take this down a little bit more and take a look at the smaller earthquakes that are going on. And you'll see that we have clusters of earthquakes, not tremors, earthquakes, topping out near 4 around Washington, around Seattle, and going down to Mount St. Helens, even further south, going all the way down into California. And I'm going to show you a noteworthy increase that's occurred at a few locations that we should talk about. Such a couple days. At this point, we're watching day by day. I cannot show you the PNSN site because the earthquakes that I showed you yesterday are no longer there today. So if they're not there today, I don't feel comfortable showing them to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel comfortable using that site if it's not going to be showing us the earthquakes that we specifically just looked at yesterday. So somebody scrubbed it, it's been wiped, or it's some data error or whatever. It's unreliable at this point. And I'm saying that. You know who runs that, by the way? You know who runs the website that we were just looking at that's scrubbed the data, or can't find it today? It's not there. There's some technical explanation for it, I'm sure. John Vidali. That's the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network site. Now, I've heard that he's leaving there. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's my biggest critic. So, anyways, my biggest critic site ain't working right. Okay? All right. So, that being said, which is the deep earthquake down below 1.5 less. The only other spot where there could be a large earthquake, and that's the spot in the northwest, going off the coast of can't even speak, the coast of California, up to the northwest, in the waters off the shores of Oregon. So it's a small stretch in here, and I'm going to keep warning every night until I get a clear answer as to what's going on with the slow slip event. I'm not going to stop warning you. I'm going to keep telling you every night that we need to watch it. Why? Because we need to watch it. There's a swarm of earthquakes that's happening there, now topping out at 4.0, man. You also had the Hanford collapse, which they're trying to say was caused by workers or something. But guys, there's an earthquake swarm that struck at the Hanford nuclear power plant 6 days ago. And then 2 days ago, it collapsed. The tunnel collapsed. Now we have a swarm at 4.0. Go back just a few days, and the other earthquakes that struck should start to tell the tale of an active West Coast in the areas surrounding this slow slip event. So if you live in Washington, if you live in Oregon, if you live in Vancouver Island, or if you live in Northern California, here's what I want you to do. Every day, I want you at least once a day to either, you can tune in to me at 10 p.m., or you go check the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network website for tremors and start to see for yourself where this tremor slip is happening. If it keeps carrying on, right now they're not reporting anything, but I don't trust that. I think it's still going on. I think we're just not getting the whole picture from them showing us the earthquakes. Do you think it really went quiet? I don't. Not when they're deleting earthquakes off the feed that we just looked at yesterday. So we're going to keep watching every day. I'm going to keep watching at least for the next week. But for the next several days, let's say 3 to 4 days, I really want you to be watching. I want you to be on alert. Not major alert, but still concerned that we could see a large earthquake out of this. Why am I looking for a large earthquake? Not exaggerating any, guys. We're looking back to 2012. 2012, there was a 7.7. Now here we are, and there's nothing, and it's still going on. I don't like hoping for the best when there's a potential for a big earthquake to strike out of that. I don't like telling you guys, oh, it's going to be okay, everything's going to be fine, it's going to be totally quiet, everything's normal. No, it's not. It's gone on for 9 weeks. It's spread out across 3 states. The professionals said it stopped back in April, which is highly abnormal because it carried on for another month and a half at least till today. And then now they're deleting earthquakes. Now they're deleting earthquakes. I mean, go back and watch my update from last night, man. I'm showing you the same dang website, and it shows you the earthquakes. And I pointed at them, and I said, there they are. Well, that swarm right there is related to what happened over at Hanford Nuclear Power Plant. Now those earthquakes are gone. It's so suspect, man. Okay, so anywhere else on